Hey Fab Gals, welcome to Friday Morning Live here on my YouTube channel, Tracy Gold Fashion Tips. Today, I'm going to be talking about what to wear to work because so much has changed. Oh, let me just change my lapel microphone. I just want to make sure you can hear me all clearly. Yes, there we go. So, so much has changed in the working environment. And, gone are the days when we used to try and power dress with suits and tights and court shoes and that kind of thing. And so often the dress code for work is pretty casual. What this has done is it's made it super confusing for women. So they just don't know what to wear and how to dress in a way that speaks of your own capabilities and makes you look and feel fabulous. So I'm starting a new series for January because January is a great time to start something new and kind of up our style a little bit. And I'm going to be giving you some tips on what to wear to work. And this doesn't just mean that wearing something to work if you're in a formal office environment. In fact, I'm going to be doing for formal office environment, for business casual, and if you work from home, because so many of us work from home. In fact, let me know, ladies out there, how many of you are working from home and running your own businesses and are just unsure of how to dress for that. You go from working at your desk to then going to meetings, and how do you transition? So I'm super excited to have you here. For those of you who are new, I'm Tracy Gold, and it's my absolute passion to bring you fashion tips that make you look and feel fabulous. And if you want more of these tips, then be sure to subscribe to my channel. And listen, ladies, if you're not sure how to do that, because I realize some of us are just not sure, right? This whole technology thing can be pretty confusing. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to log into YouTube and how to subscribe so that you can comment and you can write your questions, and that way I can respond to you. Also, what's really amazing is that this year, my focus for the channel is really about growing a community of women over 40 who are supporting and inspiring each other. So if you want to be part of that community, please make sure that you subscribe. Also, let me say that I have a little insiders list where you get updates on my videos and extra tips, etc. So if you want to be on the insiders list, you can head over to my website, tracygoldfashiontips.com, and there'll be a little pop-up and I have a free download for you. So I just created a new one. Also in the new year, Tracy Gold's top makeover tips. So be sure to subscribe to that and you will get your download. Okay, so I'm going to do it a little bit differently today. Last time I didn't get the whole setup right. You see, I also struggle with technology sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some content. I just want to kind of just go onto this quickly. And hi, Joanna. Hi, ladies that I see some of you are here. Thank you so much. Celestial's also here. Fantastic. I'm just going to turn the volume down completely. I want to be able to just see your comments and your questions, and then I can actually answer them as we go. Also, if it'll be a little easier for me this time because I won't have to stop mid-sentence. I'm not just operating from my cell phone. For some reason, the cell phone just works better on live. I don't know. We'll see. I'm also getting some new lights coming. Very excited because the light situation, crazy at the moment. It's just mad. It's just too dark. Okay, so I'm going to start heading. Hey, Deborah, nice to see you. Fantastic, ladies. I'm so happy to have you here. Okay, so also at the end of the video, I have to say, because the theme of what to wear to work is going to be such a strong theme for January, I also have some fabulous events coming up in New York. So for those of you who want to hear more about that, be sure to wait till the end of the video. And once again, if those of you who are listening to the replay or you're listening now and you're just not sure how to log in, I'm going to tell you how to do that at the end of the video. Kitties are freaking out. Joanna says, oh, fantastic. So for those of you who don't know, Joanna's kitties are actually my biggest fans. So when she plays my videos and they hear me, they like my voice and they go a bit crazy. So welcome, Joanna's kitties. It's wonderful to have you here. Okay, so also just to say, ladies, that oh, Tracy, fantastic, so good to see you. Well, kind of see you. Listen, I've been thinking of your mom, everybody, those fab gals who know Tracy Custer. She's one of my all-time biggest fans. She's a self-appointed head of the fab gal community, and her mom has been very ill lately. So Tracy, we really are thinking of you, and I'm sending out all my love and concern and prayers for you and your mom, because I can only imagine it must be a very, very stressful time. So hopefully she's healing and doing a little bit better. Okay, so ladies, I'm also going to say that I'm going to give you some very basic tips. These are the tips that are going to form the foundation for the series going forward. I'm not going to be showing you outfits today. I'm going to give you some basic principles, because if I put them in with the outfit ideas, it would just take way too long. Hey Dana, so good to see you. Happy 2019 to you too. Okay, so at the end of the video, I'm also going to tell you how you can get personalized tips, because you may come away from this video with more questions than answers. That's not necessarily my intention, but sometimes what happens is that these things come up and then you really are unclear. Bearing in mind that I will be answering some of your questions as they come through on the live feed, but for those of you who need really personalized, specialized tips on how to create a work look, a personal brand, to create a look that really reflects your capabilities, who you are and what you do, I do offer one-on-one sessions, which are super easy. In fact, very similar to this, but we can see each other. So they're amazing. Technology is incredible, girls. Really, it's time for us to embrace technology. Okay, so let's head on into the tips. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, and really this is my main focus, is what do you want to say about yourself? This is very important. So before we even discuss your working environment, what role you play, which we will be discussing, I want to ask you the question, what do you want your look to say about you? Because this is the most important question. You know, we are who we are, which also makes us good at what we do. So if you are in a role that you are excelling in, the reason why you're excelling is because of who you are. So for me, it's around helping you to determine what is your personal brand. What do you want to say about yourself, and how do you put that into clothing? Because the reality is, girls, and this is just a fact of how our brains work, when we see somebody, we automatically make a whole lot of decisions based on those first 7 seconds. It is really incredible that it's just the way our brain works. And often when I do workshops, I do a really fun exercise to show women that this is really true. And so what are we saying about ourselves? How are we portraying ourselves? I think this is really important. So do you want to say, I am, like for instance, I know Dana is an artist. So what she wants to say about herself is going to be different to, say, a lawyer. Okay, she's going to want to say I'm creative, she's going to want to speak of her creativity, and so it wouldn't necessarily be appropriate for Dana to wear a black suit. I don't know many artists who wear black suits. Dana, tell me, would you wear a black suit to work? I doubt it. So I think it's really important. Hey, Gav, my husband has come on to live, so it's so good to see you. So the thing is, it's really determining what you want to say about yourself. Now, if you are a lawyer, or you are in finance, or you are in a formal sector, you definitely will dress differently than somebody who is more of a creative. So for instance, I know that Joanna works on websites. Now that's going to be, yeah, Dana, exactly. She says, no, absolutely not. She would not be wearing. I'm just wondering, is this light like overly, I'm just wondering if the light is that better? Do I look, it's kind of coming from a weird angle. I don't know. Anyway. I'm just going to do it because this is how it is and this is what it is. I'm going to have lights set up soon, so it'll be better. Okay, so let me just maneuver a little bit. I think that's kind of better. There's just going to be a shadow, but anyway, that's fine. Okay, so let's get back to the conversation. So I think it's really important that you determine what it is that you want to say, how you want to speak of your capabilities, and then you want to look at your working environment. Okay, so what is your working environment? Are you in a formal office? chances are if you're in a formal sector like law, like finance, that kind of thing, you probably are in a much more formal office environment. However, you might actually be in a business casual environment. You may be in something a little bit more casual, or maybe even a little bit in between. And often, you know, ladies, those in-between working environments are actually harder to determine what you're supposed to wear. I find that when I do works with corporations, that is generally where the biggest confusion happens, is in this kind of business casual, semi-formal environment. And then you get very casual environments. And then you also get women who work from home. So you may have meetings where you go and you're really decked out and you look absolutely slick, and then you go home and you're working from your desk or going to pick up the kids or handling something else, and so you're struggling to transition in that process. So then you want to look at your working environment and look at it from a practical point of view as well as from a branding point of view. So let's talk about the branding point of view. If you are working in a formal environment, then you do want to keep some form of professional image that is going to speak of that environment and fit into that environment. However, if you're working from home, then you want to be able to make sure that you can transition. You want to ask yourself, what are the meetings you're going to? Who are the clients you're seeing? If you are in a creative environment, like if Joanna, for example, she's working as a creative on people's websites, well, then she doesn't necessarily need to be wearing a jacket and a white button-down shirt. That may not speak of her capabilities. However, if you are a consultant that's dealing with a formal sector like finance, then your meetings, when you go to meetings, even if you're working from home, when you go out to meetings, you need to kind of fit in with that industry. And it depends so much, ladies, on your industry. So each industry is going to differ. As an example, I remember going into an office one time that was a Levi office, and obviously it makes sense that their dress code is to always wear jeans, so everybody would wear Levi jeans. Now that's going to be quite different to, say, a formal environment or even a different kind of corporation. Also, you could go into a formal environment in a marketing, PR kind of maybe even advertising company, and although the structure is formal, it's a big corporation, people are going to dress differently than they will in, say, finance. So you want to kind of give some thought to what is your environment, and then what do you want to say about yourself within that environment. The third thing then is to look at what role are you playing? And this is quite important, because if you are in a role where you are in management and you are overseeing projects and people and teams, then you may want to step up your style and your dress code to kind of look like a woman of authority. And that doesn't mean if everybody's wearing jeans, then you want to wear a black suit. It could mean that you wear a pair of dark wash jeans, you wear a lovely blouse, and maybe a jacket over that with a pair of heels, as an example. So I think it really depends on the role that you're playing, and then how you want to fit into your team in a way, but still supervise them. So that's when you want to give some thought to how you are portraying yourself. And if you are in a place of authority, then don't just compare yourself to the other people that you are overseeing, but really step it up a little bit, step it up a notch, so that you look like a person of authority, if that makes sense to you. So then I want us to look at, let me think now, yes. Then I wanted to talk about building a really versatile wardrobe. I am all about versatility, because to me, you need to be able to go from one role into the other seamlessly. Sometimes also I find women say to me, well, they have days at the office, and then where they see nobody, they're just working within their team, and then they go to meetings, and then that's when they step it up a bit. But you could have a spontaneous meeting with a very key person without even the preparation. So I've seen that happen quite a lot. So that's when it's important to have some form of transition wardrobe, that you know you always maintain a certain level of professionalism in the way that you dress, and you could simply do something like have a jacket in your office. That if you suddenly have the opportunity to meet with a key person, that you would then be able to grab your jacket, put it on over whatever you're wearing, and it will step up your style immediately. Does that make sense? Also, when you are working from home and you're going to meetings or you're transitioning in your various roles, you want to be able to be comfortable working at your desk, but still be able to dash out quickly. So I'll give you an example for me, right? So I come in today, I've done my makeup and my hair and I'm wearing a dress, and then later on today I'm going to go out to film. So I'll give some thought to what am I going to wear for the video now to do live, and then what am I wearing to go out. Now I very well may change, but chances are I'm not going to, because actually this dress that I'm wearing is very comfortable. I can simply just put my boots on, put my coat on. I'm completely comfortable, and I'm comfortable around the house now or around the apartment. Now, if I'm just having a at my desk day like I had yesterday, but then I was spontaneously invited to go to a network meeting, well, what I simply did is change my top to a jacket, and I was ready to go. So it's about having a sort of level of dress that makes it easy for you to transition. I also want to encourage you ladies. Renita, hi, fantastic. I'm so glad you made it for the live. I also want to encourage those of you who work from home. Sometimes it's easy to work from your jammies. I know, I have caught myself doing this before. I will admit I have done it before. But I'd like to encourage you that I notice the days that I get up and get dressed as if I'm at work. And even if I'm casual and I'm comfortable, I still feel different. I still feel good. And if something comes up that I need to dash out quickly or go and see something or go and see somebody or go to a meeting, I'm not feeling like I have to completely change what I'm wearing. So maybe I'll add a little bit of extra makeup, refresh what I'm putting, maybe add a jacket just to step up my style a little bit, but I'm not having to go from changing into one thing to changing to a completely other thing. So I hope that makes sense to you. Oh, hey, Himani Jane, so good to have you, fantastic. So I really want to encourage those of you who really are working from home, give this a try and see how you feel. I've even found when I've done radio interviews, I mean, this is just such an interesting thing. When I've done radio interviews, then I find that if I'm dressed in a way that makes me feel professional and makes me feel top of my game, my voice comes across differently than if I'm just in kind of, well, okay, I never wear sweats, but in really casual clothes working from home. So if I'm speaking to a client, that can also transfer in speaking to a client on the phone or having a conversation, or it just changes the way I feel. It changes my mode. And then also when it comes to weekend, then I'm casual and it feels completely different from my work week. Because do you girls find that difficult? You know, if you are working from home, there's kind of not really much difference between your work wardrobe and your at-home casual wardrobe, and they're very different roles. So try that and see if that works. I am going to be giving you some tips on how to really create a very concise work wardrobe, no matter whether you're formal, business casual, or working from home. The other thing I want to talk about very briefly, and I'll talk about this in more detail in a designated video, is what is business casual? Because this is one of the biggest levels of confusion for women. And especially because working environments are so casual these days. Business casual, ladies, is not sloppy, okay? It is not weekend casual. There's a difference between weekend casual and business casual. So if you are allowed to wear jeans at work, business casual would mean it's a dark wash pair of jeans with no fades, no rips, no kind of major detail, maybe a nice blouse and a jacket, or even just a nice blouse and a good pair of shoes. You don't necessarily have to wear high heels. You know I do not believe in that, because I seldom wear high heels because I'm living in New York and I have to be able to walk everywhere. That's an absolute prerequisite. But, you know, not necessarily a pair of sneakers or a pair of pumps that looks like, you know, it came from the back of your closet. So a nice pair of shoes will work. Now, if you're In casual mode, well, then your jeans can be ripped and you can do all that kind of thing. But when you have business casual, you want to differentiate. The great thing is, though, if you plan your wardrobe and you have those elements in your wardrobe, like a good pair of jeans, you can easily dress them down on the weekend and still wear the same pair of jeans. And it will save you a fortune, ladies. It will save you a fortune if your wardrobe is versatile, if you can do different things with it. So that same pair of jeans, you can wear it with a nice shirt for business casual. You could wear it with a sweater and a pair of flats or sneakers for the weekend. You see, it makes sense to do things this way. That way you plan your wardrobe really effectively to handle the various different roles that you play. Also, once again, your business casual is going to depend on your industry and the company that you are working for. That is going to make a big difference. So business casual in an IT firm may be very different from business casual or casual Friday. Do you guys have casual Friday here in the US? In South Africa, we have casual Friday. So casual Friday or business casual will look different in a law firm to it will in, say, an IT firm. So you've got to consider your industry, the role that you play, what you want your look to say about you, and that's how you start to form a really good professional image that is part of your personal brand. Okay, now I'm going to talk about a few things that you want to avoid. And listen, I am not, if any of you know, many of you that follow me know that I am not a rules girl. In fact, I quite like to break the rules. But in this case, there are some things that you want to consider with regards to professional image, because you want people to look at you and to see a capable, amazing woman that you are, and that you are fulfilling your role extremely well. You do not want distractions. And some of these things can be distracting. So for an example, showing too much skin. And this means showing too much cleavage, or actually showing any cleavage, showing if you've got a shorter skirt on, which I'm a huge fan of wearing short skirts if you like your legs, but for professional image, then you want to keep it to just above your knee or slightly on your knee or below your knee, not too short. But if you're showing a bit of leg, then keep it covered at the top, ladies. And if you're showing off, if you've got sleeveless top on, you like your arms, they're nice and toned, you feel fabulous in that, absolutely fine, then keep covered on the bottom. Showing too much skin can be distracting. The second thing to avoid is to wear things that are overly casual. And I did allude to this a little bit in the business casual thing, but I want to speak specifically about this. It's really important. I've been into businesses, and businesses often will hire me to go in and help people with their professional image. And really try and find a way to build a really good dress code policy that people understand and can adhere to and don't feel disempowered by. So I'm speaking from quite a bit of experience, and one of the big things that companies across the board don't like is when people are overly casual and overly sloppy. So there's a difference between being semi-formal or even semi-casual or business casual and being sloppy. So sloppy would be, really wearing clothes that don't fit you very well, that don't look like they're clean. I know some of these things may seem really crazy, but I've had to actually tell people this kind of thing before. So you want to just kind of, take note. Are you neat? Are you tidy? Do you look well put together? Do you feel like your image portrays who you are, even if you're in a casual environment? Because a casual environment doesn't mean sloppy. A casual environment is just not super formal. So I hope those are very helpful to you. Okay, so now I'm going to deal with some of the comments. Sloppy makes it look as though you don't care. Renita, I absolutely agree. And I think that, because our look says so much about us, whether we like it or not, whether we're aware of it or not, it's actually really important to give some thought to it. And what I have found is that a few tools are so easy, and a few tips make it so easy for you to easily get dressed in the morning that you don't have to think so hard about it. You don't have to work really hard at looking good. You just have to know what to have in your closet, how to put it together, and what suits your body shape. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, so let me deal with some of the comments. So Tracy says business casual to me means classic pieces tweaked in your to your personal style. That is a brilliant definition, Tracy. I agree with that. And I also want to say that for those of you who are stay-at-home moms or retired, you know, you are still working. You may not work outside the home or work in a formal role, but you have a role to play. You are really, really important, and your role is just as important as a woman who works at a formal office. So you also want to dress in a way that makes you feel good, that allows you to carry out your role in a way that makes you feel good. So also consider that. Okay, so Washington State, cold weather, clothes yet fab. Not sure, Lisa, what that means. Maybe you can clarify. Okay, so Deborah says, I'd like to wear a uniform. It does make a difference because I think it's smarter, but in the workplace we wear casual things like jeans or leggings. Okay, so Deborah, I do think some women would prefer a uniform because it takes the guesswork out of that. For me, that would be a nightmare. Like I went to school because I'm from South Africa, for those of you who don't know. And in our schooling system, we had to wear uniforms and I hated it. I absolutely, having to wear the same thing every day is like torture for me. So I think that it depends. And also what I have found with uniforms is that they can be really tricky. And I've worked with companies that have helped me implement, you know, a uniform in their workplace. And it's super tricky because to get a uniform that suits different body types and body shapes and different women is very hard. It is extremely hard. So what I would do is create some kind of a work type uniform and then take them shopping and go and help them buy components. So for instance, they would all be wearing, say, a black skirt and a black jacket working at reception, but the style of the black skirt and the black jacket would vary from woman to woman because it needs to suit her body shape. And really, that makes all the difference in the world. When you are wearing clothes that suit your body shape, it looks fantastic. Absolutely looks amazing. Celestial says, my school system in Australia was all uniforms. Yeah, I think anything kind of British related, we wore uniforms. So Australia was also a British colony. Okay, so let me look and see. Dana says, okay, she gets that wearing paint and clothes means messy. I do want to be taken seriously. Dana, that's a great question. So look, obviously your role as an artist, you want to be creative. You definitely want to be creative. There's no doubt about that. Maybe what you can do is have an overcoat that you put on top of your clothes. That's what I used to do when I was painting and working with messy things. Also, when I make my collection and I cut, I often try and wear things that are not going to get damaged by the fluff of the fluff of fabric. So for instance, when I'm cutting something like this and it's a knit, the fluff tends to get all over the place and it can damage my clothing. So maybe put an overcoat over your existing clothing, and that should help you. And then when you go out, you can simply just take it off, and it's super easy. Okay, I see that Lisa made a comment. So she said, the cold weather. Okay, let's just see. What did you say, Lisa? How to look fab in cold weather without looking sloppy. Good question. Very, very good question. That's going to be interesting because this is my first winter in New York and it is freezing cold. So the thing is, first of all, is that indoors it is warm. So you can layer. That's what I'm finding I'm doing, is that I'm layering my things. So I'm wearing normal, like for instance, I've got this dress, which actually doesn't have anything on underneath it. I have thermal tights on. So I find the bottom part of my body gets really cold because that's where the air can come up in. And then I put over my stylish coat, hat, scarf, that kind of thing, and just really long boots, warm boots. I think the challenge is going to come in when it's snowing and the snow boot issue. I don't know, I'm going to have to come back to you on that one, to be honest. I mean, I found some quite cute snow boots, but they're not the most, you know, I don't think they're going to go with everything I wear. They're not necessarily going to be that stylish from the standpoint of wearing a dress with it, or if I'm presenting a workshop. If in that case, I'm going to have to take separate shoes. Not ideal, but I think I'm going to have to do it. But I'll get back to you on that one. But I think the layering is really what it's about with cold weather. So you can layer. What I also find is if it's really cold out, I'll place a jacket over whatever I'm wearing and then put my coat on over that. And that way, if it is fairly chilly inside, then I can just take my coat off. I've got my jacket on underneath. I still look stylish, but if it's really hot, I can take both layers off. Because I find this hot, cold, whew, it's very crazy for me. It's absolutely mad. Okay, so Renita said, I would have hated uniform. Some people are always going to try to push the envelope, and I would have been one of them. Individuality rules. I have to say, I definitely tried to push the envelope. It didn't go down very well, but I absolutely did. I used to alter my uniform and change it and try and, oh no, I just hated it. The whole thing of wearing the same color and the same clothes every day just was torture for me. But you know, everybody's different. And I think that's what this channel is about. It's about you as an individual, and you know, these tips are just there to inspire you to create a look that really works for you and speaks of your individual style. Okay, let's see. Lisa says, yes, layers and thermals. Thank you, Tracy. Yes, and I have to say, thanks to Kim, she was my viewer that told me about thermals when I first came to New York. Thermals are my best friend. They are absolutely imperative. I wear thermals underneath my jeans, under my pants, under my dresses, and then a thermal top if I need it underneath. But I find indoors it's just so hot. I find I rather layer with jackets over that and wear my thermals underneath on my legs because my legs get cold. Okay, so Celestial says we found where's okay, that faded. It's this weird thing on my phone when the chat comes up. It stays for a very short time. Okay, so Celestial says we found ways to be different while wearing our uniforms. That is true. Look, in South Africa, we even couldn't have, our hair had to be tied back, no makeup, no jewelry. I remember even at one stage, there was this phase of us folding our socks over twice, and we used to get checked in the courtyard whether we were folding our socks over twice. I mean, it was just crazy, absolutely crazy. So Dana says, any brand of thermals that you recommend? Yes, thinner but warm with fabric. So Dana, I've put them on my, thank you for that actually, because I have an Amazon store where I curate some really great things that I think you'll like. I know that shopping online, and especially shopping on something as big as Amazon, can be really overwhelming. So I've created my own store and I've got into categories. So Dana, you can find the thermals that I recommend on my store. In fact, just pop me in the comments below and I will send you the link to them. I think, yes, they're definitely in my store, so I'll send you the link to them. They're fantastic. They're fleece lined, so they're super comfortable, but they're stretchy as well, and I find they're not too thick, and they go underneath my clothes really well without adding lots of bulk. So yeah, I'll definitely pop you a mail to give that to you. Okay, let me see if there are any other questions that I've missed. Starting the T-bar school shoe trend at my high school. I love that. Absolutely. Okay, so let me just see. Okay, what questions do you ladies have? All right, I'm going to just give you a couple of rundowns. So as promised at the end of the video, I want to first of all tell you about some events that are happening in New York City. So those of you who are in New York, definitely take a look, and I will put the details in the description below. So first of all, on January 10th, there is this amazing conference called Return with Purpose. And this conference is a full-day conference for women who have taken a break and they want to, you know, really get back into the workplace and come back with a sense of purpose. My husband says my cats are listening as well, Joanna. So Jazzy and Sai are listening. That's so cool. I can't wait until they get here. They hopefully coming, my husband and boys, at the end of January. So I'm super excited. We're hoping all is going to pull together very nicely, but I'm so excited to see them. I miss them terribly. Okay, so that's definitely the conference Return with Purpose. I'll put the details in the description below. So if any of you ladies are in New York or coming to New York, it will definitely be a worthwhile conference, not just from from being there and listening to the speakers, but also to be engaging with other women who have gone through a similar thing. The women who are part of this conference and set this conference up are incredible. They have their own stories, they have their own things to share, and it's going to be a really, really fantastic conference. Then also later on in the month, on January 23rd of January, I'm going to be doing a very short introductory workshop on personal branding and how to create and enhance your personal brand. And that's going to be at the New York Business Women's Forum. So I will put the details in the description below. It is on Eventbrite, but don't worry, check the description below. I'll definitely put the details in there for you. And also, I'm going to be doing it with a friend of mine and a colleague of mine, Peggy Belden, and she's phenomenal. She is going to be doing the circle of the wheel of life and how to set goals for both your personal life and your professional life. It's going to be fantastic, ladies. It's going to be a very short introductory workshop, but with great value and great tips. All right, now I want to tell you about the one-on-one sessions. So Joanne, as Joanna put in the comments, she had a session with me recently. And I know, Joanne, I think I can speak openly, is that from the standpoint that Joanna was nervous about the technology of it, as most women are. And so to be honest with you, we set up a Skype session and Skype wasn't working properly from her side. So we just went over to WhatsApp. And it was fantastic. WhatsApp video. She's in Germany. I'm in New York. We could talk to each other. We could see each other. We had an amazing session. And really, it's about what are your individual fashion questions? What do you need help with? And we can deal with things like how to dress for your body shape, how to create your professional image that relates to this video today, how to mix and match, how to have a versatile wardrobe. You know, she had prepared a couple of things that she wanted my opinion on, and I could say, okay, yes, that works. No, that doesn't. Give that away to charity. Yes, Joanna, rock that. It looks fantastic. Wear it with this, this, and that, and it will work with your personal style. So it's all about you, and it's about what you are needing to find out. And, you know, these videos are really around general tips, but the one-on-one sessions hone in, and they really help you to get clear on your own personal style and what's important to you. So the sessions are $65, and it's for an hour, and we get a lot done in an hour, let me tell you. So you can have this anywhere in the world, doesn't matter where you are. Obviously, if you are in New York, then we can do one-on-one sessions, which is fabulous, also amazing. I'll put the details in the description below. Okay, so just a little pointer. Again, I'm going to remind you that if you are not on the insiders list, you want to be on my insiders list. So you head over to my website, tracygoldfashiontips.com. Details are in the description below. And I've put up a new free download for you on my top makeover tips. For those of you who are already on my insiders list, you will get that in the newsletter coming up on Saturday. So don't despair. Don't rush out and go and double subscribe. You don't need to do that. I will be giving it to you. But ladies, it will be fantastic because I've really put together some of my top makeover tips on how you can give yourself a makeover. Also, there'll be some fabulous makeover videos coming up very soon. Fantastic. Yay, Tracy. I'm so glad you like that. Okay, so ladies, that is it for today. I'm super excited. Thank you so much to all of you who joined me. Also, for those who have missed it, the replay will be on my channel. I would also love to hear your comments. If you come in after the video, and after it's done, how are you finding this live video system? I know the lighting is not ideal. The lighting is going to be sorted out. But do you like doing live videos? Do you like doing them better than some of my pre-recorded videos? Tell me. I would love to hear from you because, ladies, this is really about giving you tips that make you feel fabulous. And what I love about live is that although it isn't as pretty and as well put together and as swish, it's real and I get to engage with you. I mean, that's the best thing, because really this is about building a community. And I love how you girls were chatting to each other and saying hey to each other. You know, it's a time that we can really get together and chat. Celestial, you love doing live. Okay, and so does Joanna. Fantastic. So I'm planning on doing some more live videos. I'm also going to be doing some more interviews coming up, ladies. So I have got some amazing women lined up to be interviewed that are going to share their stories and tell you about themselves and their fashion tips, as well as just their life tips of what it is to be at midlife, how they feel about themselves, how they make themselves look and feel fabulous. So I'm super excited. Okay, real life live for sure. Okay, cool. So you're enjoying this. Okay, maybe I should do more of this because I love it. It's a lot easier for me. I don't have to sit doing all the editing and the whatever. And of course, I can engage with you girls. It's just such a special thing. Okay, so ladies, it's been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to have you. I'm going to sign out and say goodbye for today. Have a fabulous weekend. Get onto the insiders list. Consider a one-on-one. Create a look that makes you look and feel fabulous no matter what you're doing. Because ladies, you know what? You're worth it. You're beautiful. Shine your lights brightly and inspire others to do the same. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.